Hey, it's Dr. Molski with Freedom Health Centers, and we're into stress, anxiety, and remember we talked about the three forms of stress: physical, chemical, emotional. We're going to talk in depth today about emotional stress. You know, it is rampant today, emotional stress. I think, with the family unit and the changes that are going on there and all the different things that are happening in our country, in the world, terrorism, all that kind of stuff, boy, it is hard to get away from. And you need to be informed of those things, but sitting there watching hours on end of news probably isn't the greatest thing for you mentally, emotionally. They sell drama. Everybody wants to see the drama. We need to be thinking positively. We need to be thinking of things that can improve ourselves and can improve our society. The murder that happened yesterday, and the person that was thrown in jail, and the person who committed suicide, we just don't really need to be dwelling on that kind of stuff. It's not very good for us. Things happen. That's what it is, right? Stuff goes on. We lose loved ones. There are tragedies and those kind of things. Stuff's going to happen, and you're going to have emotional things that go on. And I always say it's like, I'm in the mud. And when something is there, I'm in the mud, and I just don't want to stay there. That's the thing. I can have my mental, emotional thing going on, but then I know I've got to make sure that I get out of that I start changing my mindset, that I really, start thinking more positively. When you keep thinking in the mud, and you keep asking questions like, why? Why did this happen to me? Why? Your brain doesn't come up with good answers. It keeps asking another why question, and that's not so good. Let's get out of that. Let's start asking something like, well, how do I learn from this? How can I make myself better because of this? Then your brain starts kicking in, and it starts going, well, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. So mental, emotionally, huge thing to be able to do. With anxiety and depression and the things that are going on there, think of your brain like any other organ. If you don't use it, you lose it. And so depression is just that. Our brain isn't getting fed enough. Do you ever see a depressed person walking around like this? No, they walk around like this. They get hunched over, and they're looking down, and their system that drives their brain isn't working like it should. Because to drive your brain, you got to be in a good spot in how your alignment is, and especially in your spine and the different muscles around it. So making sure that you have a good functioning nervous system is one of the most important things for depression. Anxiety, people who their brains are going, I generally find that a lot of them have mineral deficiencies. Getting some good minerals in them is a big thing, because that starts to calm the nervous system. It allows for better, proper digestion, and all kinds of things go on there. It's pretty important. Having a good whole food source of minerals is a great thing. Things like fish oil. Fish oil is an awesome thing for improving nervous system function and all those kind of things too. So, when we talk about anxiety and depression and stress in itself, is you got to think right? You got to think positively. You got to think about, how do I get better? You got to make sure that your body is working well to feed your brain. You got to feed your nervous system correctly, water and good foods and all those kind of things, and exercise. So they all link together. Physically, chemically, emotionally. You got to eat well, you got to move well, you got to think well. Dr. Todd Molski.